Ebusuafo emamu ina ajo emamu akwaba enyumre Edmoba KFM TV eso enyumre mre aso sensema yabo ano efiye maimu no yedini a ebeso se no sia kase wo KFM TV ne so enyumre yede asida kese ebema yabo afo KFM Musical Center womo eton instrument bia se ope combo guitar microphone speaker drum set no wodweni echemo KFM Musical Center so ya wonsa ebe kansa instrument ni na bi uba nan kopi mu ewa santimantema ubehu omotwa kwan ewa dum wo mo ne Sambra Hotel no ane bonhwenim won Cremantem House no wo mo ewa Accra Zongo Lane enu ti se ope instrument papa no odofo fa weni twemu ewa KFM Musical Center na idea ubenya enoma papa ewo hosa sa enso anenwumre dadaba tech hub enso eton phones ene ho akade se ope Infinix iPhone Samsung Yam Tecno ni na no wodweni etwemu dadaba tech hub akachia ubenya sa phones ni na bi na de ye ni gede sem ewo dadaba ho ne se uto phones na wo warranty na yade a emu eduye papa ubetimi akona oni omo akoye adwuma wo ho brane enyumre talent microfinance enso yesika krabia wo mo aba wo mo ebo anipa dodo na mo musika sem ejina ne nan so enu nti se wo ye ankranko enyume ko sorry na mo pe baabi ede musika esie no mema eno enye wo dadwen esanse talent for aba wo mo ebebo ama usika sem no etimi ejina ne nan so ye papa adechimamba enyume we dwume ko we adaruma no mo boye chi ma ye de nsem no ye de ebeso mo na nsem no edos ye papa enyume de ebedi mo akotini ebi osem for asema me okenkan foi meso me de beso mu no se ndedwe eye chief of staff Julius Debra wode nsem bi abetu dwa eno no ye de mu nsem ye de ebeba beso mu enwume wo kase ne so sa enso so na Ministry of Transport enso e de abetu dwa mo chese wo mo de buses ahodo egumontima eno ebeboa ma eye traffic congestion a abo my Ghana hano ano etimi abrase no so yede mu nsem yede ebesum enwume yede dwede nsem ebeka ho ede ama eye trade drivers and hawkers ahodo awo my Ghana muso chese eye mobile money no sesi ade nkebe ya banhwe na wo mu engine no eye ade bia scammers any fraud for no wo mo adosiye papa no so yede mu nsem yede ebesum enwume yede ni gede nsem ebeka ho ede ama nyumtuni Black Sheriff wono so ne ho nsem bi abeto Ghana epono so a no so yede mu nsem yede ebesom ewo ho sa ebusuafo weni nsem ne afoforo pie enwumre yabo ano a yede ebesom se no nsia kase wo KFM TV ne so mekai wo se nsem etwagu ewo abefo ntentam fidie ne so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH enu tu betimi ahwe bi na wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no so die gu ase ama me kama kenkai fo me maami esinkoma medane me ho sima ba me ba nsem no me hye ase edi ama Mamuina akwaba edam asise enwumre mugusu etimo TV ho amhwe no nsia kase wo KFM TV ne so mekoso ekai wo se enwumre semi no egusu a etwagu ewo abefo ntentam fidie ne so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH eno to betimi ahwe bi na wa share na wa like na wa dwenche ne so de gu ase ama me kama mebe ma mekai ni nia ede ama me hye nsam na se ede ama the Minister for Local Government Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs eyon monyam for Ahmed Ibrahim Nededwe wode nsem bi abetu dwa efa urban transport crisis a ekoso ewo my Ghana ha no mpenifo eja na ejeje me no ana wode nsem we tu dwa ma eye state urban transportation eni mpenifo ahodo no wo mu hye wo my Ghana ha ne ho ana eye ma Jane Mensa a oye vice president wo mu hye no eho ana eye Minister for Local Government Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs odmonyam for Ibrahim wono so what in some way abetu eja.
Now when we came to office, President Atamels, the late President Atamels of blessed memory, also did it by donation of Uton buses. And that is why the famous Uton bus came popular in this country. In 2014 to 2015, His Excellency the President of the Republic, President Mahama, also continued with the establishment of Ayalolo buses and also augmented the Kufuor buses. And that has been the trend. But for the past 10 years, there has not been retooling in all of these unions. And that's why the problem is happening. When I assumed office as minister responsible for local government, I called Ayalolo boss. We gave you 200 buses in 2016. 2014. Tell me, how many buses have you added? He said 0. And I said, tell me why I should allow you to be there. If 200 buses, they are all depreciating, they are all running down. You are not increasing the fleet. Then, based on that, step aside. A new boss came in. And, Your Excellency, what I will need from you, when the new boss came in and realized the problem, he went to Spanish embassy. They wanted to give us a grant. All that they needed was for the Minister for Finance to give a letter of no objection. We followed, and I think with your presence, it will be given. If that one comes, the current ND of Ayalolo buses will get a grant of 1 million euros to be able to augment the fleet of Ayalolo. And we will need your intervention for the Minister of Finance to give that letter of no objection. The Spanish ambassador has been following me for that. We need that one.
Ebusiafo Nuntin Samwe and a Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, wono so wode abetuja yedibi ababesum yedu efri sansemmo near the concern from their Deputy Minister for Transport and a Member of Parliament for Jomro, Ahmed Dokas, Afo Tofi wono so wode nsembi abetuja for DV license sem ho wo license ni ade no eno anama Dokas Afo Tofi wono so aba montim abekasa dia for KFM TV enyumre yeso yede bi esom wo ewo no nsia kase no eso
putting this DVL off for fighting so hard to make sure that we also have one is because the whole constituency or the 3 sister constituencies, we only have one in Elamble. So our people will travel all the way to Takrade or to Axim, and that is very costly. So during my election or my campaign, I promised my people that if we work hard and vote His Excellency John Dramani Mahama into power, I'll do everything possible to make sure that we also benefit. And today, thankfully, His Excellency saw with fit that we worked so hard for him, and so he made me the Deputy Minister of Transport. And so because the DVLA is under me, I spoke to the CEO, I worked with him. He also agreed that we really do need one. They did their feasibility studies and they saw that there are a lot of cars here, and so it was necessary for us to have one. And so today we've done the sword cutting of we're putting up a DVLA here at Samenyi Barrier. But in the interim, because it's going to take a year, so in the interim, we're going to have an Ultra office in Tikobo number 1, which we've rented a place. It's going to be set up, have the logo and everything. We'll have a full service over there. And so I'm hoping that within a month and a half, February or thereabout, the place will be ready. We'll have a full service over there. Registrations will be there, renewal, everything, all the necessary services will be at that place. And that will bring employment. It will relieve our people from traveling all the way to Takrade and Axim. And so we've brought it, the DVLA, closer to the people.
Ebusiafo yedu efri sansem ne do akonsem from their onmonyam for Julius Debra, we Chief of Staff e my Ghana hase no so e de nsem bi abetudwa wo chem se hu behia se skill training e my Ghana he be boa ma bibia no mebunu no wo mani so ade hunu ene wo makoma so ade abem no e wo se sa skills training no yetime ma ye ni kwa hu ye papa na no e ya de be boa mbebunu a wo my Ghana ha ma bibia no e wo mususu metimi enye adwuma aye e wo my wonsem we ana Chief of Staff Julius Debra wono so wode abetu eja.
Ya na pepe na ye ni mebre se bi o school we ni e ma certificate ni e ma degree na je se onye adwuma. Eti pepe ya na ye ma ye ni ko ye nuanu a ebesu adwuma bi se plumbing, carpentry, mechanic, and ni e ma horo no. Eti ministry di juma di ba ko so a all ye ni say the National Apprenticeship Program, and the open is a Pablo in the penny for and he was a branch. I said, you would see the wow. That's a capacity security when you'll be for almost a Juma. Uchi bear on the share, I may have to be a lecturer with Juma. Now, a final founka, a madachi, on phone. hono na also ukura osanu adwuma etoso bi so yaya hihye a sebio we abrantie na ofese dachi wunyi na we yet say chairman also media me person my abadwuma me person my ankra adwuma eno so utwibe onwa ewo mwa on de beboa amatrexre a esa o de hye odwuma se no enso nsaka na na oba idie na jese ye be kasa na yakọ ese kasa ye bu akonta.
Epim has stood strong because each generation rose to the call of service, sacrifice, and purpose. Today, that call is sounding louder than ever. A generation rose to the call of service, sacrifice, and purpose. Our youth remain in the most vibrant, dynamic, and promising segment of society. They carry within them the dreams we once dared to dream, the energy we once possessed, and the hope we must never allow to fade. They are the custodians of the future we pray for, the future we labor for, and the future we owe to the generations yet unborn. And yet, as custodians, we need guidance, opportunity, and direction. We live in age where the world is changing at an extraordinary pace. For our youth, this presents both unprecedented opportunities and profound challenges, yet while some are striving with determination and breaking barriers, others are faced with obstacles that dim their aspirations, limit their potential, and threaten their sense of identity. It is therefore our collective responsibility as chiefs, elders, parents, teachers, religious leaders, and community stakeholders to ensure that no young person is left behind.
Ebusia fa no ntin semwe anampeni for the abetu dwanwume ya yenso ye de bi ababesom ewo kase no so ye de efri sansem ne mu na ye de wa consent from there ukopiem ewo wejagba we abato onpeso aso amrahye bedwani oho eyonmunyafo Jerry Ahmed Shaibu wono ana wode abetu dwan de dwe eye transport crisis a ekoso o my Ghana hande obepiem onkramantem ha nipa dodo na branch o munya campo afa driver for so kasa ewo wo mufuo ne ade hono no enam so ma wejagba we mrahye bedwani eye Ahmed wono abone homoden de eye fuel coupons ne ade ama driver for na eye passengers a wo so wo fa car no abone homoden etuatua dodo na lorry fare de amomwan no eye ade bia boama so how ya abeto Ghana pono so wo matimi aso ano. Ebusiafo no nti adoye we ana Jerry Ahmed a wo ye mrahye bedwani ewo wejagba we abato mpeso aso wo no so waye hosaide mu isem ye de ababesom ye de free sansem no na de wa consent from there Greater Accra Regional Minister a okopie mu ewo Shai Osudoku a wosan eye mrahye bedwani wo hono ndedwe wo bone homodin aya adoye de ama abaiwe bi a wenya mfinhia enwotwe omo chese wo kosuku ewo St Olive School a no wododo wa no omo chese eye abofre ono ankasa ne headmistress ana wa abuse na eno enam so Linda Oklo wa bone homodin edisika no sombo eye 10,000 Ghana cedis wo de a support abofre ene eye treatment ni ade na emu.
Better for them to admit her for now so that maximum attention will be on her. Are you getting? So since I know the CEO, I'll talk to him and see how best we can support her to make sure that she's okay. And so on this note, I don't know if Regional Director Zila was want to add some few words to it, but I'll be supporting them with an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, so that they can use it for their transport and whatever. So please never hesitate to let us know the outcome. We'll also be following it up with my education director and see how best will help you.
Ebusia final tin bra ma Melinda Oklo wadine se mebere ye no san edit dwabie ma watch him say eye suku aye friend ne say Happy Home School eno ewo dodo wa Saint eye Olives Grammar School no watch him say si ade ade asa school no wo bebo ne homode a shut ne down esan say sa negligence e ho no ade a ano aye din ye papa nti kwan on befa so a won bebo eye nkodan ho ban ne say school no wo mo ebehwe na wo mo atum enu nti same way ana ma Melinda Oklo was sign editudra
justice. That one there is an assurance. But the news is all over. So we can assure you that justice for her is first assured. As for the closure of the school, we'll make sure that that school is closed completely. Because, I mean, living in a constituency with such, I don't know how to describe the woman, but, and from the look of things, you know, the neighbors around are also complaining about the treatment of the kids around. And so we advise, we know everybody is watching. If you have your ward there, please just go and take her. Yes, send her and take her. If you don't, you can't even take her, look for a relative to take care of her, him or her. So if you are watching and you still leave your ward there or your child there, and something happens, I believe no one is going to blame anybody. I believe by now, parents should what? Make sure that every child, should leave that school. So that the school will be empty.
Ebusia final tin same way ana ma Melinda Oklo wode ebetu dwaye so ye bi ababesum ye de wo every sansem no mu na ye de akonsem from their Haruna Idrisu awoye Minister of Education e wo my Ghana hano and de wono so aba montima wode nsem dodo na abetu dwa efa Ghana education system enu ho ene ye gender wo school curriculum ni ade mo no wa be kasa e de afa ho ayen so ye de bi esom wo e wo kase no eso.
If I wanted to be politically mischievous, I would just say that this was not produced by my era or tenure as minister, not by President Mahama, and that this curriculum was developed in 2024. But what is important is to answer the question, what is it that is good for Ghana and good for Ghanaian teachers and good for Ghanaian learners? I've asked NACA, the institution responsible, to take full responsibility for the controversy and to remedy with urgency. And accordingly, I'm told that NACA has determined that the definition of gender identity contained in the manual is not reflective of Ghanaian values and culture and our norms. Accordingly, the following immediate steps, I'm told, have been taken. Directed that a recall of all the 736 physically printed copies of the Year 2 Physical Education and Health Elective Teacher Manual for senior high schools, to a revised version of the Year 2 Physical Education and Health Elective Teacher Manual for senior high school, accessible via, I'll give the address to you. So the online correction has been done and done appropriately. So nobody should be relying on the hard copies. And then also to remind us that the curriculum is dynamic and regularly updated to reflect current standards and trends. All revisions and updates will be reflected in the online version available at www.curriculumresources.edu.gh. So when you go there, you will know what is applicable and what must be instructive and what must be in use. Now, accordingly, my directive as minister responsible for education, there should be no ambiguity whatsoever regarding the definition of a man as in a man, a woman as in a woman, as in biological sex. And sex means biological sex. Reference to man, woman, sex means reference to the biological sex and the sex of a person at birth. Settled. So in every educational literature in Ghana must reflect same. So there should be no ambiguity whatsoever in the definition of a man, a woman, and sex. For our purposes, the sex of a person at birth holds. That depicts and reflects Ghanaian values and our norms. And that is how we want to bring up all Ghanaian learners in an environment that they appreciate, that the morality of our society rests in the extent to which they uphold these values. So I thought that I should use your forum to respond and accordingly corrected it. So reference to a man, woman, and sex is reference to a biological sex. So forward, every publication of the
Ebusi Afanunti Samwe and Education Minister Haruna Idrisu wade abetu jayensu yedi bi ababesum yejinani semiso na ye try ho akwaje abo afon krato abaye ba ye betu ansem ne so ede amon.
Fraba just wonio yanom Eshenya en use fuel when so yansesa oil ne wohia ene ni key Eshenya gumechi nyina eye lip moto Giomi anase nami eyemu bia won sabeka wo KFM Limited e wo Ghana ha lip moto abefo cancer be yanom emwedene sanso efe wa hwe interiors here ka hear me timusi see and your friend lip moto and was 3 modes of driving obetimi a switch it so open temo a obe the sports mode so person will save you battery obetimi use economy mode na so pentem na wo pe normal riding so a your friend standard wo charge your battery within 6 hours e betumi do akokomasi aba metre 310 kilometers into woni how ubetumi so the 3 hours fast charger a charge na mana you full bonama no akokomasi aba say no me en try the aka no Giomi ne awon ne key make sure say key ne ben wa wo hwese na interior on it na black and white papa so no FSN yo wa screen tentin e bo ma hu car no battery aka na ma hu mileage nso wo so when so the etu kwan 320 kilometers and sana was a charge ubetimi a charge in 6 hours fast charger 3 hours abefu efidie nso ubetimi a drive no in 3 modes a standard sports and na say economy so wo pentem to say me a yanom choose sports what say ubetimi to kwan fi hakokobase ama wo battery ni bi so aka because a 320 kilometers who charging in 6 hours ubetumi in your full battery now when you fast charge and so 3 hours per you're set making sure so okay in car when you saw wakem ubi e door na start Chili Giobi black and white makuma swat man san kawo de yen check the aka no yeah no abefo de ne mu ba ko ni o de awunya no key making sure say key ni ben when you saw wakem wheel no f let na woman no so dance eye gray ni yo ma hodo mienu de ni hakakra ene de mu odu esan so was screens mienu wey e ma information a hunya wo car ne hunyina ase besia bonyum papa your friend entertainment ya wo hia no ane e bas ubetumi so driving in 3 modes just like the others standard and I say sports so open tema car wey so e betumi to kwaya kokomasi aba 330 kilometers Chema udu kra betumi jesi so no abonyum kakra ansa na edu wo charge in 6 hours no so betumi so charge no 3 hours if no fast charge eyinu munyina KFM Limited and a dia bed just so. Fraying near me own sanka what the intentem. So open installment, a high purchaser, and change one nasi. We've got you solid. Yanume, on Sabechimia Fidie Mubia, and KFM Limited. One Sabeke Fidie no what Siano Kakran. Wait, Unyano Bebia, a KFM Limited. Fraying ever sort out.
Medo benami Ghana duko do ajakple ho duko kata. Mie chonya nwa de vena mi cho Talent Microfinance Limited Gajradopa. Mie wona susu savings, adishare, school boafo, cashback, ple bubwa okata. Nenya be egajom de mi agbo la letie tomegbeko aten aho gadodo. Kenenya be egajom vivi la nenya be o gahia ola atenwava ava de ogai kenehia fa.
Tanenya be mi foncho mi afa jom yo kenye mi afa gadodo nyawa. Business loan elemiashi, church finance elemiashi, salary loan elemiashi, eye bubo li kenye personal loan. Nenya be mi foncho business loan a enye gadodo ikemie nana asichalao. Nenya be washigba keke alom LSW we have talent mi pepegede nwo nenya washigba LSW na woge wo kekegede ji to talent pomonu ome nenya be mi fonchu mi afa salary loan a enye gado mo mi ke mi huna mi afa jirudu $1 nke ga nyo he ya va talent wo pay slip pay bank statement ye kwenye nwi here na koko ho salary loan le rate mi to keke akeji church financier personal loan va nenye habobo masoli hama eji fufofo sankuo jitao olila ashibobwe kekeake mie flegeno na no hem v choji nto jinwade bare kwereka mpopo kai ganyu he ya talent kuna kpohe ya ole chagbagba na do tare talent bena wo gado monwa anobo buenami akpenami
etibe ya nyafi ke talent la
Talent Microfinance Jengo Amegan Shipe Ape Letina Tejibo Hotame
miape kapomoye nya 050-129-1298 alo 050-128-9119 talent woga kwamanu banto
Talent Microfinance, your channel of wealth.
Ebusiafo yesan mamuina akwaba edam asese enwumere muguso etimo TV ho amohwe no nsia kase wo KFM TV ne so mekoso ekai wo se enwumere sem no eguso a etwego ewoye abefo ntentam fidie ne so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV GH and YouTube me ahwebi na wa share na wa like na wa dwenche no so de guase ama me kama me to ansem ne so de ama odi ande dre transport ministry wo mo de abetudwa wo mo HM say traffic congestion abon kramantem ha send ye wo peka wo bresa ansa wonya bimpo ekodu biaye ahodo a wo kono wo chese se si ade ade a wo mo abom homoden e de buses ahodo ebegu montim a eno ebebo amasa ade we wo matimi aso ano e de amobibia
arrangements just to cater for the festive periods, which we did, and it was very helpful. But we realized that when they were withdrawn, it created some challenges. So I re-engaged the MD of Metro Mass Transit Limited and then the Intercity STC coaches, and they have reintroduced some few of them. We are looking at the daily basis movement and seeing if we need to add more, then we'll add more. Again, we are also at the verge of seeing how we can get the private sector to bring in more of the buses and other vehicles to be able to help when it gets to peak hours in the mornings and in the evenings. But we have called back. When we withdrew the services, we saw the tension it created, and we have called back some of the buses to start again making their movements. We are studying the ground to see whether they will need more, or we will have to continue with the skeletal or the small number that we have operating for now.
Adeshman Benuntin same way and a transport ministry wo mode abeto dwaye so ye de bi aba so mo ye de wo 817 so a concern from there e asante hin otum for say to the second and the day e 2026 e mo ne first e ye awukudaye edikan no ana wapa hontuma e wo my Ghana ha wo de activities dodo na wo de ahihye ma wo che say awukudaye edikan no e ade a e be kra be hwe ye papa same way ana e yote kokko so na asante hin otum for say to the second wode abetujwa
that's club by ya cheno ewo ofuma secret kwada so hey top the another na ya say ye ba ne ba da di e kire ye wura anu titoti ena ma etu na mo ya ye ba ha ne kasa mafo no ore to ye wura nim say opese obey live patron ye wura so agiatum sanse ono ni ko wura ada se do kan say wo ye afu na se nyame ahuru mu a afu no e de nyeye nti waje wa tu se patron no obeye na de wo kan se anye se asase nkwa na se bi ebeye no wo yokuru mu na emom ebobo anyanka ada se dem di kaka yenso no ye wo enkrokro bi ewo ho a keze ahokire pa nsuo kro bi omono no na ho eden nti ya fa twe ho se bobo modna se ebekọ sa enkrokro za na se obi ba no bi na ebusa de batu animu a enyina keze ya da se ya na yenyina we sika bom no ya ade no ya na efe kwa dodo keze ekase entua evita kukura bi kwa tua more than that that is a kwero do ntira ye tiba ko yesa do yenyina so de ama ebinom.
Executive organizer Edema Ekue eye owura adanse bona ono so eka sei
Ekua ya tie odo kese pa na ye de ayede atiku no wonchwonchwe bia ni kunim so hwe odo a ya da na di wa ha sei ade ama ofim so ahunu ani so ade hunu a ewo ye mu a ye pese ye da na di ma ne bo asanteman se de chema kan ye na esom bu kese ye be kwa chire se de chema kan ye no aboabo nyanka ni usabi omo ni bie omo hawo ne dadwini bi ompa so mo beba bia so no ya dia tum se dey ya behwe o ya hodin mu ni aboa se de se nti ya ba no ya ba tenase ya ba ma santema dey aso hunu se sabi nya fitness club bia keke na omo na mo bobo na omo kotire betire no bia na ya te de beboa
Ewusian for yedo etwansem ne so akonsem from the Ghana Navy wo mo so e dia betudwo mo chem se eye illegal fuel smuggling bi ekoso wo my Ghana high no kopie mu wo keta any de no aflawo eye star ho na wo mo se eye operation bi mo de hihye so mo ehunu se eye fuel smuggling bi ekoso wo my was so mutimi hwe na omodi om nice form na adewe wo mo so anu mpanifo a wo mo ewo Ghana Navy mu wo mo ana omodi nsem we abetu edwa
ye chi canoes 7 ana barrels a hwinim be say 400 eguso ba answer na ship ni be du ono afai for na mo hono o say no more yom oma fa adwuma but I'm saying kofoni dwane fi boat yi so nti ye timi ye so boat mu any barrels almost 400 na neguso no asem ne say sa boat yi oma heda aye ne say omu didi nsem money won suo ne so de omu ye ne say illegally gotten fuel no ma pompe sa fueli egu sa small boat mu no mo de aba epona no om de dupona na intem om de akosie nti me ka say operations bi so cost wo asase so ye de bom ne da say sankofon ye juma so mo ye juma we a om de juma boni we a ebi fuel ni bi gunsuo ni mu nti say isuo na nam ne won suo nim no mienu say e deny Ghana of a lot of revenue, much needed developmental revenue, because at the dark side of the government. Recommendation I say we will continue to maintain our presence as you betcha we see. You could see a betcha in your electronic surveillance systems. I the shop on the song. It moves based on that. You better make sure say you better enhance capability. In addition, you the drones, you better fly drones near the monitor. In that, there, you say, you know, more eponano. Bois sa illegal fuel banking syndicate. Bomb mamu yese juma boni we. Inti ani ombe kasa. No me hu say juma na mo ye nenye.
Illegal fuel trade no susando no oye bebre. Akwenye de wayan man Ghana mu no obiara o engage in fuel trade no.
Ebusi afanu tin samwe ana Ghana Navy mpenifo wo mode abetudwa yenso ye de bi aba abesom ye to ansem ne so he de ama ode a eye police officer back woni Ministry of Energy wo mo staffs ahodo bi enya kita ode me chairman timi ho ase bi akoso wo mo ntema eno enya asem kito a wo mo hm say ye driving ho nsem na enam so ma police officer woni energy eye Ministry of Energy wo mo staff yi enya asa eye mentemi ho ase a eno so bi abeka ye sa anwumre yes ye di bi esomo ewo no si akase no eso Ebusi afanu ti we ana course ayenso ye de bi aba besom we wokase no so ye gina so ne adane ye ho sima ba ye ba ye den sem no eko edwadie. Yaden sam no ekwa edwadie mu dia eye adetonfo a driver for ene nipadodo a omo my Ghana ha ebekasa e de afa mobile money payment o mo chese o mo de enya ade a wo mbekoso ade mobile money etu ade esan say frosters no wo mo address ye papa pe wo my Ghana o ti hokra ni efrefro ape kwan bi so echimonsa e de afa wechi a wo mo pese wo mo eju sika efri won semanu nti wo mo chese say wo mo de mobile money ebetu ade de sesi ade womo enye sade no ebio
ya koso no ama like money nje hokra mobile money fo no wo sani sika na sisi anu bebia fa no meje hokra mente asokra me hu de akwa me hu de eba ye hu network pe kwa sisi ye use ha we be sani sika na ko ne na ansa kwa last 3 days obi si mobo a ope mobo enti me deliver mobo na ma no 6 million ode sane me no akoto bi phone so no matter ye use wo Ghana ha no sisi anu Ghana na ngasa no ye hu de o my Ghana no ekọ wanya adwuma wunidi adwuma kakra obeye so a obeton mobo kakra na wode asane no na ye wazan ye fraud ye jiska ye bunko fofa so odwe wo kura wonti ase
momo ne ya yisa me yusu momo bio nti ofo me ka na osi momo a me nji momo nti ana ase me do wako bia filling station ana ase mobile money baby mobile money wo ansana wako yama me because fraud nti me yisa me momo kura no malo ke no ebi atome omo yi misika pa misika de omo yi omo dada me na omo yi efi ono me yusu momo bi o fa ka kwa na so obesani mo mama me misu da bi enko bi am oba man wona eden wa yi mama so wanya bi na me wa ko filling station wa sani am sana etie.
I have some 5,000 in my phone. Then somebody called me that, is this Sechi Angela? I said yes. Then he said he's my customer, so he have sent me 1,000. So he had done a mistake. He don't want the dress again, so I should refund his money. I said, Master, I don't receive any alert. Then I was there about 5 minutes, then they copied the message and sent to me. So as I want to check my account, then a certain guy here said that I should not check. If I check it back, then they will take all my money. And I said, then I stopped. I stopped about 30 minutes. Then he called me back again that haven't I seen the money? I said no. So go and look for some work and do. Don't call me on that issue again.
That's what you should. But my shame who see because some ba no ma catch so ma me mpacho mpese me say ni momo ye benya alert no but sometimes ye be hwe no na ama ya se bi also say ni 20 cedis I know I say no 2 cedis nti ya ni be ba ye ho so bia na ya busy ya ni be ba ye ho so a ye be hu say 2 cedi no no okọ ba ye da so you ba ye hwe ho so ye
my experience ni say me hona obi frame me say the bibi da kolebu na o send this can abegu me for so ti me check me momo nya da yema no ana me ka che ne say obi a send this can me won so why dey wa send this can na me dum ni phone almost by 10 minutes na me sa so me so ya be check this can bi anim eti mo check me mo wan ko yi bisika nyina eti no wo ho na so obi fra say wa send this can mo bi adum phone later be 2 minutes to 5 minutes ansa na wa sa so also we are no wa check say obians asaniska say at once na say oh check pombe yusika nyina
ebusuafo anu ntin semwe ana eye womode abetudwa yen so ye de bi aba besum ye da ne ye ho sima ba ye ba ye de nsem no ekwa ni gede emu Yadeo ekwa enijede nsem dia eye Black Sheriff awo ye nnwomtuni ewo my Ghana ha say no ende dwe ne ho nsem ana beto yapno so a yesu ye DB ebremu na nche bia na beto dwa se Black Sheriff woni ni old management wo mu enya kasakase bia eno nam so mo di asemi ekopie mu ewo court asem di bia ende wo mu ye kona bra sa na eno anende dwe wo mu san kopie mu ewo court a wo mu echemu se asem no wo mu di ni aba na wie ya sesi ade wo mu asem no ede ama Black Sheriff ankudie etimi akọ ede ama no mo chese enu nti se si a woni ni old management santa wantawa ene mentimi ho ase a na ewo mo ntem no se si ade ano abrase ede amomo a wo mo etwa bibia so nsem wei ana enwumere yen so ye de aba besom wo ewo anigede nsem no emu enu nti mi gina so na me de enwumere no si akase no medinini aba na wie enwumere nsem no na edos ye papa na de di mu akotini enwumere ebi ene se eye chief of staff Julius Debra woni mpenifo ahodo na na de nsem bi etudwa efa skills training ho a de mu nsem ye de eba besom wo ye san de Ministry of Transport enso etwemu se wo mo de buses ahodo egu enkan montima eno ebehwa ma traffic congestion no ano etimi abrase de amaye ye de dwede nsem eka ho de ma eye traders eni driver for wo mo e my Ghana ha be kasa fa mobile money fraud ho eno so ye de mo nsem ye de ebesom we ni gede nsem no Black Sheriff wono so ne nsem ene oni ni old management nsem ekopie mu court no ende ana wo modern nsem ni nia eba na wie ye no so ye de mu nsem ye de ebro we ni nsem ni afoforo pie a ye bo ano a ye de besumu se no si akase wo KFM TV ne so ye beda ya bo afo ina ase KFM Musical Center Dada Tech Hub ana Talent Microfinance a nwe wo mo eso ya sinema ye de nsem no ye de ebro okenkan for eyeme mami esinkroma me gina wesu na me de kase ni ya aba na wie ye